Hi, my name's Dave, and welcome to my second episode of Kerbal Space Program. I'm playing through the career mode. I accidentally deleted my other save file, and so I kind of redid the first mission from the first episode. It was a suborbital flight, and unlocked these two nodes on the tech tree. I redid it. I was able to squeeze 4 more science out because I only had 3 science left on the last one. So I think I was able to squeeze in another crew report. So now I'm going to do an orbital mission with a new rocket, and I'm going to make it, I want to get a little bit more science. So I think I'm going to make it polar orbit and get into orbit and also do some EVA. So I'll start first with the capsule, and then using one of the parts we unlocked on the tech tree is the decoupler. So all I intend to bring back is the capsule and this mystery goo containment unit. I'm going to put just one for now. I could really kind of spam them on there, but I don't like how it makes the rocket look. And I think I'll be able to get quite a bit of science from the EVAs. I don't want to forget my antenna or a parachute. So I'm also going to use this motor. It's got a better ISP in space, so I'll get better gas mileage on that one. And so now I need another decoupler. I'm going to attach three of the larger fuel tanks and one of the smaller ones, and yet one more decoupler, and then the solid fuel booster. And I'm going to stage it. It's not going to work. I don't have a motor. There we go. And I'll just call this one Mercury 2. That's how imaginative I am. So on this one, I want this rocket motor to fire when this decoupler stages, and I want this rocket motor to fire when this decoupler stages, and these ones are in separate stages, so I'm going to move that right down there. So I believe that's all I need to do, except Jebediah went into space on the first flight, so I'm going to send Bill and give him a chance. I'm also going to change the mission flag again to retro. I'm going to save my rocket and then launch. With this rocket. So I'll turn on my SAS and put my throttle at maximum. I can do a crew report from the pad. That's the one I missed on the last episode. So I was able to get that one in. So everything is set and launch. The solid fuel booster, the throttle is ineffective. As soon as you light this rocket motor, it goes, and it just goes until it runs out of fuel. The reason I have my throttle up is so I don't have to throttle up after I stage and lose any of my acceleration. So the flight profile is going to be kind of the same as far as the altitude of the gravity turn and the way I fly the rocket. So at about 10,000 meters, I'm going to tilt, but instead of tilting to the 90, I'm going to tilt to this yellow line, kind of orange, is the north on the nav ball. This nav ball is blue because I'm pointing straight up from the planet that I'm currently active around. If I was pointing down, it would be brown. So I just remember that the ground is brown and the sky is blue. And that kind of helps you with your orientation. So, time to turn. I'm going to turn a little bit off the center of that. It's about right there. I'll go up just a little bit. Right there. I'm doing that because the planet is rotating slowly below me. And this should put us pretty close to a direct polar orbit. Hopefully I have enough fuel in this rocket, but when I stage this next decoupler, I'll lose all this extra weight, and this thing's gonna just zing right along. Ready to stage. Almost. And there we go. So I'll see if I can do another crew report. Yeah. And that is plenty high enough. So this shows our current arc. I wonder if I turn the wrong way on my gravity turn. Maybe I needed to turn a little bit this way. So I'm going to time accelerate until I'm close to my apoapsis and raise up my nav ball on the map screen so I can control the rocket. So there's the moon off in the distance. So I'm getting pretty close. I'm going to line out and point towards my prograde. And then full throttle. And you'll see this arc start to extend. So to get in orbit, you need about 2,300 meters a second, I believe. So that's what I'm shooting for right now. So I really like this cloud mod. I've been waiting for clouds for ages. And this one works out really nice. So I'm starting to lose some altitude. So I'll kind of keep pointing up. And that should help bring this back up just above the line and bring my apoapsis a little bit closer to the capsule. So it's expanding a lot faster. And then I'll turn, see where I am at fuel. I think I'm pretty good at fuel. This motor, like I said, is very fuel efficient. And I need just enough left over to deorbit to bring everything back. Okay, so 72,000 meters and 131,000 meters. So it's a bit elliptical, but workable. So now that we're in space, I can try and do another crew report, but I think that, yeah, there's nothing to be gained from that. So I'll observe the mystery goo, and the goo seems to have clumped into a sphere. It also appears to have become brittle. So if I transmit this science, it's only 3 points of science. But if I recover it, that gives me 10 points of science. So I'm going to keep that data so I can recover it later. So we're still slowly losing power. And one of the drawbacks of using this rocket motor is it does not generate power like the other rocket motor does. So now that we've done our mystery goo and tried to do a crew report, we're going to do our EVA, extravehicular activity. So right down here on the astronaut's portrait, we can click EVA, and there he is, holding on to the side of his spacecraft. So we can do an EVA report right from there, and we can transmit the EVA report and get 100% of the data, or we can keep it. What I like to do is keep the data, because transmitting will use up our electrical power. And then if you right click on the command pod, you can store your experiments. So that one's stored. So we did an EVA above water. So this is another one above Kerbin's water. So it won't let us duplicate it. If I try and put it into the capsule, it couldn't be stored. So we can review that report and we can get rid of it. The benefit about doing a polar orbit and the EVA reports is that eventually the planet will rotate underneath you and you'll end up flying over virtually the entire planet, given enough time. And so you can do an EVA report when you're over each specific biome. So let's see if there's something new. We're still above the water. So we can time accelerate. Oh, we can't accelerate while he's on the ladder. So I think it'll be a lot of climbing in and climbing out. So I'll do this for a little bit and then I'll bring you back in. Okay, so I've done several EVAs and stored data on 8 biomes. So, but the one thing that I haven't done is use my little jetpack. And floated away from the spacecraft. So I think Bill is having a good time. He's not freaking out too bad. So let's head back and see just how much science we get from this mission. If we can get back to the spacecraft. The first time I did that, I lost the Kerbal. I had no idea how to control any of what he was doing. So we're about ready to cruise over the North Pole. So we're at our periaps just about. So let's point towards retrograde. Throttle up a little bit. And that's definitely gonna get us back down to the planet. Kind of close to the South Pole. But the good thing about the Kerbals is they have recovery stations all over the planet. You can land anywhere and you don't have to worry. So I'm going to decouple my fuel, other rocket motor, and as we say goodbye to that, I'm going to time accelerate back to our splashdown, and I'll bring you back in when we splash down. Okay, we're back, just about ready to land. It's not going to be a splashdown though. It's coming down on, I believe, the grasslands. Let's see. We're in the highlands. Well, that's good data. We'll keep that data. And we'll see just how much science we're going to get from this mission. I think it's going to be significantly more than our last mission. So, oh, don't go anywhere. Okay, he's all right. And actually, let's see if we can stand him up. We might be able to. There we go. So Bill is back safe. Probably, I always hit the wrong button. Probably happy to be out of that capsule and get a little bit of fresh air. We'll take a surface sample while we're out and get a little bit more science from the highlands. And take an EVA report. And we'll keep that data. We'll board the spacecraft and recover the vessel. And let's just see how much science gave us. Okay, so that mission gave us 98.9 science, which gives us a total of 105 science. So that was a pretty good mission. So let's go to our research and development and do a little bit of research. We can afford batteries on this one. This one has a probe, reaction wheels, another cockpit, and a winglet. This one has a nose cone, another winglet, and the radio decoupler. And this one has another rocket motor and a larger solid rocket fuel booster. Solid fuel rocket booster. Yeah, that's what I meant. So we'll unlock that one. And that gives us, how many more can we do? We can do one of the smaller ones. We can do this one and one of these, or we could save some of that science. So let's get batteries so that we can transmit more science, and that also gives us the science pod that will allow us to do some experiments and do even more science. So I'll research that and we'll see what that opens up for us. The next tier, 90 science, will open up solar panels. Those are critical. And another battery. And lights we can use on our spacecraft. Also, the mobile processing lab. A thermometer. then the mobility enhancer, a ladder for outside a lander, and then there's a tiny landing strut and a small gear bay. So we'll probably shoot for this one or one of these on the next mission. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.